Good morning. Open the Chumash.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning. When Yosef is bringing his children for bracha, this is in page 270. It's a Perek Memchet. Yosef is bringing his two children for bracha. So Yaakov is giving him an introduction. Then let's read the pasuk. Pasuk Chet. Vayar Israel et bnei Yosef. This is Ephraim u'Menashe. Vayomer mi eile. He wonders, who are they? What do you mean, who are they? He's already 17 years in. And according to Rashi, look a second at the Rashi before. Look a second on page 268, Perek Memchet. פסוק א', ויהי אחרי הדברים האלה, ויאמר ליוסף, הנה אביך חולה. Who is the one that notified Yosef that Yaakov is sick? Look at the Rashi, פסוק א', ויאמר ליוסף, אחד מן המגידים, someone. ויש אומרים, says Rashi, אפרים היה רגיל לפני יעקב בתלמוד. Ephraim was the grandson who stayed with Yaakov to learn with him. So the two children of Yaakov, the two children of Yosef, Menashe and Ephraim. Menashe was a right-hand man in Washington, so to say, and Ephraim was the grandfather for 17 years. Says Rashi, כשחלה יעקב בארץ גושן, when Yaakov is sick, הלך אפרים אצל אביו למצרים. Ephraim goes back to his father and he's telling them, your father is sick. Now Yaakov is looking at the two children. Who are they? What do you mean, who are they? They're your grandchildren. I mean, if you're really looking at Pshat, the pasuk is a very difficult pasuk. So first, before we look into Rashi and look into today's topic, let me first tell you what the Orach Chaim says in this question. You have to look a second in Pasuk Yud. This is page 270, Pasuk Yud. Ve'einei Israel kavdu mizokel. Yes? The eyes of Yaakov are heavy. He has difficulties to see. So the Orach Chaim HaKadosh is asking the question, what's the question? Yeah, who are they? So he says on Derech HaPshat, הלא 17 שנה היו לפניו יושבים ללמוד תורה ואיך שאל עליהם. In a minute you will see, first he brings what Rashi says, that he has a vision about the future of these two kids. And this is why he has a question. Then before that, says the Orach Chaim, because Yaakov cannot see so clearly, so even though he knows them, let's say when Ephraim talks to him, he knows them. Now when he's looking, he communicates with Yosef, and he saw two people standing in front of him, but he was not able to identify. This is the Pshat. Now, let's see what Rashi says, and the Orach Chaim is referring to it. Look at the Rashi. Rashi Pasuk Chet. וירא ישראל את בני יוסף, ביקש לברכם. He wanted to give them a special beracha. ונסתלקה שכינה ממנו. We saw by Yitzchak that there's a special power, Shekhinah, that comes to the Avot before they die. Yaakov feels that this is the end of his life. He wants to give them a special blessing, but he felt that the Shekhinah, the presence of Hashem, went away. Why is that? לפי שעתיד ירבעם ואחאב, two kings that didn't follow, went with Avodah Zarah, לצאת מאפרים. So hundreds of years later, the descendants of Ephraim, who is a disciple day after day with him, ויהוא ובניו ומנשה. So מי אלה? Who are they? Where is it coming from? Which type of a correction is it? If you see hundreds of years later, the fruit of the grandchildren of Ephraim, the seeds perhaps are here. So mi eile. Vayomer mi eile. Look at the next Rashi, mi eile. Meheichan yatzu eile. מה זה מהיכן? Who is the mother? Who are they? Remember, Yaakov comes to Egypt. Yosef welcomes him. Yosef is married. Yosef has 2 children. When Yaakov has a vision and the future of this, please remember that Yerovam is the first one that did not let the son of Shlomo Rechavam to take over, and he is going. Didn't let people to go to Beit HaMikdash. Mi eile. Meichan yatzu eile. Where are they coming from? We are on page 270, in the left column in Rashi on the bottom. Let's see what Yosef answers. Vayomer Yosef el aviv banayim. What do you mean banayim? Of course. Asher natan li Elohim bazeh. What is the English translation, Rani?
Yosef says to his father, they are my sons whom God has given me here.
Here. You see, the English translation of the word bazeh is here. But normally bazeh means, if I'm asking Rani, where is the book? You say here. I'm pointing out. He's showing him something. What is he showing him? Look at the Rashi. Rashi says, Eralo shtar eirusin ushtar ketubah. What is shtar eirusin? What is shtar ketubah? Ketubah, everyone knows from all the big ceremonies, but the bottom line, ketubah, a legal document that the husband obligates himself monetarily and morally to support his wife. As a shtar eirusin. As a shtar eirusin, Jojo?
It's Kiddushin.
Shtar eirusin means shtar kiddushin. What does it mean? Every time a person marries a woman, we have the custom to present a legal coin. But of course, the Mishnah says you can present a piece of paper or parchment written very nice, Ariat Mekudeshetli, yes, 2 witnesses sign on it. This document is the shtar kiddushin. So Yaakov is being presented by his son Yosef here. This is the legal ketubah, and this is וביקש יוסף רחמים, Rashi concludes, על הדבר, ונחה עליו רוח הקודש. So basically, what's going on here? Yaakov suspected that something in the marriage was not perfect. So he's telling to his son, who are these?
Kosher marriage, he's telling him.
He's telling him the marriage is legal kosher marriage. And this is Asher Natan li Elohim bazeh is pointing out.
We don't know who his wife was, right?
The Pasuk openly says twice.
Yeah.
The Pasuk says that Paro gave him Osnat, bat Potiphera. And according to Yonatan ben Uziel, she is the daughter of Dinah. Because when Dinah was raped, she became pregnant. She gave birth to a baby girl. And the Shvatim couldn't keep her. They sent her to Egypt with a bracelet. Here, it says 2 parashiot ago, but listen to Yonatan ben Uziel says here. V'amar Yosef le'avui, Yosef says to his father, Banayinu, they are my children. The Yahavri Hashem hacha, Hashem gave me here. I'm sorry. V'amar Yosef le'avui, Banayinu, the Yahavri memra de Hashem, Kedein katva, de'alei nesibit yat osnat, brat dinat baratra. My wife is your granddaughter. ואמר קרבינון כדון לבתי, bring me. So Yonatan ben Uziel is consistent. He learns that Yosef's wife, we already mentioned, every time you wonder, how was Yosef able to raise in Mitzrayim? He has a job 24/7. What gave him the power to raise?
Rabbi.
Excuse me a minute, let me finish. What
Okay.
gave him the power to do it? Because he has a snot in the house. The snot grew up. She is the daughter of Dinah. She had all the customs, all the values. Yes, please, yes.
Rabbi, it seems like Yosef didn't know she was from the Mishpacha, but Yaakov knew. Yaakov understood. Is that what is that? Because he's saying
The answer is no.
okay, because Yosef's saying this is what I got here. This is what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show you something in 2 places. But when just a minute, you have the book in front of you. In Bezot HaBeracha, remember, Bezot HaBeracha is Moshe Rabbeinu, the end of full year. Moshe Rabbeinu is giving. Look a second, I'm sorry, it's not in Bezot HaBeracha, it's in Vayechi. Look a second at the bracha that he gives to Yosef.
Yeah.
Look at page 280. Ben Porat Yosef. Everyone loves it. This is cute. Ben Porat Yosef. Ben Porat Alei. Banot Tzada Alei Shu. So Rani will read for us the English translation.
A charming son is Yosef, a charming son to the eye. Each of the girls climbed heights to
What does it mean each of the girls climbed on the heights?
gaze.
Please look at the Rashi. Rashi says, Banot Tzada Alei Shu le'istakel b'cha b'tzatcha u'Mitzrayim. A young man of 30, a single guy, very good looking, was chosen by the king to become the most powerful, and Paro is parading him. All the girls are standing to look at him, and every one of the girls wanted to have an eye contact with him. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Everyone understood he has to get married. The Midrash says every girl took out her bracelets and her necklaces and they threw it in front of him. He didn't look at any of them. When this young lady, Osnat, she had only a pendant that says, I am from the family of Yaakov. She threw it.
Wow.
Yosef saw that this is not jewelry and the flawless diamonds. He picked it up. He picked it up and he says, this is the one, yes. This is the one I want. So when the Pasuk says, Vayiten lo et Osnat bat Potifera, so this is what Yaakov is really praising him, yes? Yaakov is praising him, he never looked on anyone.
So why do you answer him, Rabbi, like that? This is what Hashem gave me, but it's not. It's like he's almost giving an excuse for why he's married to her in a way. You know what I mean?
Because his father, by having a vision of the future, wonders.
How could this happen?
Is there a kosher marriage? He says perfect.
So Rabbi, one could argue because of the original rape, she has the bad roots in there, and that's where ultimately generations later it came out to be rebellious kings. Who knows?
It's good for Sudash Rashid. No, it's great.
DNA, no DNA doesn't count.
Ruth Amoraviyah is a
yeah.
convert that came from a father having a relationship with his daughter. She happens to be the grandmother of David HaMelech.
Forget that.
To teach us, it makes no difference
biology.
what your background is, it depends who you are.
No biology.
And no. There's no question that Rani is right. The seeds sometimes make. But the free choice that every person has. Now listen carefully. The real question is, obviously, Yosef understands what his father wants. What is he presenting him? I have a star Erusin. Is he really married or not? In Jewish law. Everyone has a Gemara Kiddushin in front of him. Please open the Gemara Kiddushin, page Samachay 65. Just a second. Daf Samachay Amud Aleph. Amar Rav Yehuda, look a second with my finger, Amar Rav Yehuda.
Yes, the Gemara, right?
Yeah, it's approximately the last quarter. Amar Rav Yehuda, Larry, if you have it, it's approximately 12 lines.
I'm looking, it's okay.
Amar Rav Yehuda, Mekadesh be'ed echad, ein chosheshin lekedushin. A man marries his wife with a single kosher witness, they are not married. David, you have it, David, you're right here.
Yeah, where did he get the edim?
Okay.
Oh,
I think I got it.
Rani picked up
Where
on
did he
it.
get the edim?
Where are the
In
edim
Egypt,
for?
where's all the Jewish people that have edim?
Let's continue.
Interesting.
Let's continue. Ma'u minei Rav Yehuda, shneim modim mai. What happens if you have a single witness, but the husband and the wife admit we are married? What's the question?
But they're no gay, are they? We're not, can they be
The
witnesses
the question is, if I make a statement, I owe Rani Towel $100, Rani Towel can take me to court and ask for the $100.
That's
Now, no
one-
witnesses.
But
Why?
that's
An
monetary.
admission counts as 100 witnesses.
Oh,
So he says the Kadesh Be'ed Echad does not work, even if you have an admission and you might say, I have 100 witnesses, because the two sides of the issue admit. He says, in velo v'rav yabeh, he was not sure. The Gemara continues, listen carefully, Itmar, Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Shemuel, המקדש ביד אחד אין חוששים לקידושיו, ואפילו שניהם מודים. Even if they both admit, and the obvious question would be, why not? Remember, it's me and you know the truth. Me and you say we are married, we're married. Let's skip a few lines. And look, I'll tell you a little further. The Gemara says, go now to Samachay Amud Bet, Samachay, please turn the page.
We had all this kind of stuff was in Yavamot, all these possibilities with one aid, with two aids. Who do you believe? What do you believe?
In a second. We are in Samachay Amud Bet, right across from the Tosfot Nitmo, right there, you're there.
yeah.
You're right here. My have Allah, David, look here. My have Allah, Samachay Amud Bet. My have Allah means we skipped a page, but bottom line. Listen carefully. My have Allah, Rav Kahana Amar, Ein Choshishim Lekidushah. Even if both admit, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. Rav Papa Amar, Choshishim Lekidushah. Choshishim means it's a safek. In a minute I'll explain, Larry. רב פאפא אמר חוששים. Now here's the point. In Jewish law, two witnesses is absolute proof, absolute truth. A single witness can only make me swear, let's say in monetary dispute.
Yes.
But if you have, and there's no exception to this rule, if someone contradicts the testimony of the single witness, they cancel each other. It's as if I don't have any. It's not maybe this, maybe that. It's out. If it's 2 against 2, you have to take it as a real safek. The Gemara in numerous places, in Gittin, in Ketubah, whatever you want, but 2 witnesses said the woman is divorced, 2 say she's not. Halachically, we look at her as a safek megureshet. 2 witnesses say she's married, 2 say she's not. So here, we have a single witness, they both admit, and Rav Papa says, Chosheshin, maybe yes.
Why would anybody say they're married if they weren't married? They're putting an isur on themselves. Why would they do that if they weren't married? What would the purpose of saying you're married and not, except for Abraham? But no, but okay, Melech, I forget that story for a minute.
Money.
He said, we have a case here in Kiddushin. It is that a man is approaching another man, and he says, I see that your wife, listen carefully and laugh. I see that your wife is pregnant. If she is pregnant with a female, here is a coin, I would like to mekadesh her.
The daughter.
So the Gemara says, if it's clear, if she's clearly pregnant and she has a female, mekadesh.
Really?
We are adults.
Condition.
We are adults. Everyone in class, when you learn rabbi,
You can't make
the answer is, I'm not interested in my wife. I'm interested in the bank account of my father. Yes. I'm married. I'm the son-in-law of him. Until my wife is 16, I have 16 years to be the son-in-law of Bill Gates. And until then, I'll make money.
Oh, wait, didn't you teach us Eina Damakna Davar Shelo Bal Olam yet?
This is why I purposely use the word. If it's clear, she's clearly pregnant.
Yeah, but we don't know
If it
it's a boy or
says,
girl.
if your wife is going to be pregnant in the next year, I'll do it. The Mishnah says she's not.
But we don't know the gender.
I'm just using the example. You never ask now why would anyone do it? I
That's the
mean,
reason.
I had a man in my minyan, I knew him for many years. He told me that me and my wife left Russia as a couple. Of course, we were not married, but I had permission to leave. She did not. In order for her to leave Russia, the only way to leave communist Russia is to be married. Says at the end we did marry, yes, but they were not married. Anyway, listen to this. Amar le Rav Ashi le Rav Kahana, my da'atach, why are you saying that a marriage that was performed in front of a single kosher witness doesn't count? Here is everything you know. In every wedding, this is the Gemara. The most important part in the wedding, except the bride and the groom, are the 2 kosher witnesses. The Yalfet, you learn out, davar, you learn gzera shava mimamon. It says in monetary cases, al pi shnai na'idim, yakum davar. It says by marriage and divorce, ki matzah ba'ervat davar, davar mimamon. We learn out a gezerah shava. The same way it says by monetary cases, davar, and it refers to 2 witnesses. So every case that goes into the topic of arayot, marriage, divorce, yibum, she's not divorced, she's not married unless there are 2 good witnesses. So this is why Mekadesh Be'ed Echad, there is only a single witness, as he is presenting the bride with a ring, nothing. He continues, if you're really learning from there, Ima lehalan odaat ba'al din k'mei edim dan. Afkan odaat ba'al din k'mei edim dan. If the source why you need 2 witnesses is because you learn from monetary cases, In monetary cases, if I admit that I owe David money, I owe it to him. So why don't you say, okay, I need 2 witnesses. But if the husband and the wife declare we are married, let's accept
Isn't that
it.
the same as admission, yeah?
It's a serious question. Again, the only halachic source, and this is it, that marriage, divorce, yibum and chalitza requires 2 witnesses because of the gezerah shavah from Amon. Let admission be accepted.
There's a leniency, Mamon, there should be leniency on this too.
Amar le, you're right. It should, but listen to the but. Hatam lo kachayav le'achrili. If I admit that I owe David money, no one is losing, no one is affected by it except me. I have to write him a check or give him cash. Hacha kachayav le'achrili. Please listen carefully. The minute the man says, I'm married to this woman, her sister is affected by it.
Yeah.
Her mother is affected by it. His brother is affected by it. An admission.
It's consequences.
Right.
So that's what the concept is. Ein echad ne'eman b'surin and lo ne'eman b'surin.
Ein echad ne'eman b'isurim means when it comes to identify if the meat is kosher or not kosher, accept it. Right? This is ein echad ne'eman b'isurim. But the name of our topic is kiyum davar. In order for the marriage or divorce to be firm, you need 2 witnesses. Even though admission helps by monetary cases, theoretically speaking,
They're the same,
it would be good by marriage, except that every admission is effective.
Why do you need a shvuah? If one person admits that he owes some of it, why do you need a shvuah then?
The only power that a single witness has in monetary cases is to make the other person swear. He doesn't have power to take money out. If I claim that you owe me money, Larry, and I present a single witness, I cannot take a dollar out of you. However, I can force you to come to court and swear on a Sefer Torah. Now, so listen carefully. So some commentators say very nice, here it is. So it comes out from the Gemara that admission by marriage should help, but of course you cannot. So I'm using now an example, but then we'll come back to Yosef. One of the great Hasidic masters, as a kid, was asked, theoretically, how did Adam HaRishon marry Chava? There were no witnesses. Sure. The answer is, I'm talking about, this is not so actually, she's talking about halacha. We just learned that a marriage without witnesses is nothing. Moshe Rabbeinu can be the witnesses, pasul. Okay? Yeah. He answered, the Gemara says that admission helps. It doesn't help because it's affecting others. Adam and Chava did not affect anyone. This is why the admission was two witnesses.
No sister, no siblings, no consequences.
Says the Rebbe of Kloidenburg, when Yosef and his wife admit, in Egypt, we are married, they're not affecting anyone. So this is what he is saying to his father. Well,
no other Jews around.
Because there was no one else.
They got married a few years before. They got married. This is one.
Rabbi, finish. I didn't hear, Rabbi, what you said. What was the reason why?
When Yosef and his wife admit we were married, they are not affecting anyone in Egypt. There's no one that is being affected.
Right.
This is why he's telling his father, even though they are not kosher, they were not kosher witnesses because he married them before anyone came into it. This is not one. Number two, it's fascinating. Another answer. Rashi is saying he's presenting his father with a shtar erusin. Listen carefully now. Listen. Every divorce paper is a document. Normally, a divorce paper has to have a witness, two witnesses. When the husband delivers the divorce paper to his wife, you need two witnesses. Some Rishonim say that if the get has two witnesses on it, and you find it by the woman, even if there were no witnesses that he gave it to
The
her,
delivery, you're saying.
it's as if. How did she get a document that's signed by two witnesses? So if we have a definite proof that they are married, how? Because she's holding a
Right, but she
document
has it.
signed by two.
Oh.
Signed by two
In
is
this
good.
case, it's the same situation.
So some are
It
saying
says,
very nicely, yes. Yosef, the Gemara says that if the husband writes the get in his own handwriting, it's as if you have two witnesses, because no
Right,
one
yeah.
can read the handwriting.
On that ketubot.
Here, Yosef is showing his father the shtar kiddushin that he presented his wife, written by him. This is like two witnesses. This is why Rashi says shtar eirusin.
There's no guarantee that she
This
has
goes
it though.
downstairs.
He has his own document.
Rashi says that he presented.
He presented to
Rashi says,
Yaakov.
yeah, right, to Yaakov.
But
Where did
Yaakov take his word that his wife got it? The
No, no,
husband could have
no,
written
so
it.
We're basing
Rabbi,
everything
Rabbi,
on
if
the
you have a
Tamir.
bed
We're
din,
basing everything on the
Rabbi, if you,
Tamir.
she's giving the
Rabbi,
document.
if you have a bed din, Rabbi, you don't really need. If they could do it with a bed din without two witnesses, right?
Like we are talking about, obviously Bedin is not there, or we forgot.
No, could he
that
had made one? He couldn't make one. No.
he couldn't
No.
because he was the only Jew in Egypt at that time.
Yeah,
Before his
yeah.
brothers came. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Thank
Bye.
you, everybody. Have a nice day, everybody.
For the marriage, there was no way.